Love 15.
Both players have had tournament practice for real here in Australia. Novak in Brisbane. Lost to Riley Opelka. Third round there after beating Rinky Hijikata and Galmon Fees. Of course, Zverev had the 2 wins, the United Cup in Perth. Dropped the first set against Zhang Zhizhen, the big Triple Z. Then won the next 2 6-love, 6-2. Had an easy win against Monteiro, but then he missed the third encounter with what he said was a bicep issue, and I was calling the match where he had a problem in the final set against Triple Z, and he just leaned on his racket a little bit and stretched it in the sit down. He played the mixed doubles, but then didn't appear for his final singles match.
Thirty-all. T40.
So Zverev gets the opening break. Won't please Novak. A couple of Australian Olympic gold medalists there. Ariane Titmus defended her 400-metre freestyle title in Paris, and Naomi Fox alongside Dad Richard. And John, I had the great pleasure of being at Versailles for the Fox sisters. Won every one of the women's events on offer there, and
Alexander Zverev
Naomi Fox gold medal will be something that we'll all remember forever. Richard still apologising to him for not letting him get out of the commentary box and jump in the water.
I saw you kept him in there.
15 love.
But no, it was a great call too. One of my favourite moments of the Olympic Games was seeing Naomi Fox get out of the shadow of her sister and win that Olympic gold.
It's always interesting with the, we're used to this now at Melbourne Park in the lead up to the Australian Open, but once the draw comes out, John, it becomes a little more real, doesn't it? You're playing the practice matches, you're preparing, etc., but all of a sudden, you know, there's a draw, the tournament's on, and you still have to come out here and perform on a night like this. It's a practice match, but just a little bit more tension once that draw happens.
I could not have said it any better myself. Before the draw comes out, you're quite relaxed. The day of the draw, the nerves start to rise. The tension starts to consume you. As soon as that draws on, you're off to the drawing board. The tactics start trying to gain any edge in the upcoming matchup.
They're both on the same side of their draw. Novak coming in as the 7th seed. Richard liked that, so did Naomi. Zverev down the bottom of that section the number 2 seed. They're both playing wild cards in the opening round. Wouldn't meet until the semi-finals if there was to be another encounter.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Novak come into the Australian Open as the 7th seed. I think it's the lowest seed he's been since, I think, 2018, where he slipped outside of the top 4 seeds coming back from injury.
No issues with the bicep. Hold serve. You contemplate his career, 37 years of age, 420 weeks at number 1, 8 years as the season-ending number 1, 99 titles. 99.
Yeah, we were hoping up in Brisbane, being a Brizzy boy, that he'd bring up number 100. He was to be denied by the 6'11" Riley Opelka, but wouldn't it be poetic if he brings up the century here at his most successful tournament, the Australian Open? This guy returning will want to have a few words to say to that, though.
Zverev had his best year last year, semi-finals at the Australian Open, runner-up to Alcaraz, French Open. 99 wins in the year was a PB. And as is the case, you start talking about the best of the players that have never, and at the moment Zverev's absolutely in that conversation. He needs that Grand Slam title to frank the career. Good serving from Djokovic after dropping his first service game. So Zverev leads 2-1.
Zverev leads 2 games to 1.
Took a little bit to warm up, have to be said. First service game didn't have that much sting to it as the players got used to the conditions here. Roof closed, full stadium, Rod Laver Arena. Warm day in Melbourne, so the court would still have a lot of temperature in it. It's a beautiful atmosphere in the arena when the roof is closed and the light shows on. And of course, once the tournament starts, unless it's raining, it'll be open here. Outdoor tournament. This in Perth a lot from Zverev. Very quick. He was first up. No mucking around. Didn't wait for the call of time.
A night with Novak live from Rod Laver Arena. The crowd getting their money's worth here tonight. Novak, he's got a bit of a strut going, Alexander, this evening.
In what sense?
He looks pretty happy with himself, the way he's giving us the cheesy thumbs up.
He's looking good. He's got a good serve and he's got a break. So I'm not happy with the way I'm playing right now. But yeah, it's just the beginning of the set. So let's see what happens now.
Early days. Hey, quick one. The draw came out today. Everyone's talking about you, Carlos Alcaraz, maybe in the quarterfinals. What's draw day like for you? Do you pay much attention to it?
Yes. Yeah, I do look at who I play against in the first round, and have a little sneak peek at the section. But yeah, first things first. Obviously, I have to break Sasha Zverev's serve tonight, and then I hope I can play a good tournament.
All right, we'll let you go give it to this guy. Novak courtside, guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Bump him up. Sasha with the lead.
John, I reckon Novak would be the guy that looks at all of his encounters. He would notionally put a name next to every round and contemplate what might take place. No one round at a time for him.
And such is his longevity in the game. He would have played
Love 15.
just about everyone in the draw, except perhaps his opponent.
Yeah, I don't think Nishesh Basavaredi of the USA wildcard. I'll need to have a quick look. Getting the run around.
Well, Novak Djokovic showing off his wheels here. Still remains one of the greatest movers on tour. Just bit off a little more than he could chew there at the end there, going for the cross-court drop shot. You won't see that too often when the big dance starts next week.
$30-15.
And you're right, John. Nishesh Basavaredi, the 19-year-old from the USA, ranked 133 in the world, has never had an encounter with the 10-time champion. Novak's family here.
Jannik Zverev.
Zverev 3-1.
Zverev leads 3-1.
And the player lounge has been infested by M&Ms, and I'm not sure any of the players will be wanting to get stuck into them. The entourage might, though, John, and you've been known to lurk around down there. Can you get me some next time you're down there, please?
I think they're going straight to Craig Tiley's office. He actually has a jar full of lollies and the other one some furry friends, and I reckon there could be a jar of M&Ms. Peanut for me.
Okay, well, I look forward to you bringing a little stash of them next time you come up to the commentary box. That's the best thing about being retired. I'm sure you've figured that out now.
Oh, the problem is my stomach keeps expanding.
That's why Lycra was invented.
15.
Going back to Novak's first round matchup, Basavaredi, as you touched on, 133 in the world. One of the really rising prospects coming out of the United States. Played in the Next Gen finals. Where he really showcased his stuff there. And currently he's in the semi-finals of the Auckland 250.
Well, he'll be hoping for a Monday start then, if that's the case.
15-13.
This tournament's still continuing in Adelaide and Auckland as we prepare. Sunday start, second year.
Papa Zverev, been an ever-present part of the Alexander Zverev team. Good touch from Novak. And what makes Novak so difficult to play is his change of direction. Now, his radar's been a little bit off today, but he's so good at pulling the ball down the line just like that, off both forehand and backhand side. Constantly feels like you're moving when you're playing against him.
Let's First serve.
And that's just one of his strengths, because he can move, he can return, he can serve under pressure. Does just about everything well.
.40-30. Let first serve.
Good service hold for Novak Djokovic. And down the break, Zverev 3-2 in this opening and final set of the night with Novak. He's got to work out how to break back here. Novak Djokovic holds his own serve. Saw Sasha having a look around before. I think he kind of was just caught himself. It's like, I can't believe I'm playing a practice match in front of a full house. Rod Laver Arena, energy high. You haven't been involved in one of these nights before. It's a new experience.
How would you like the chance to win the ultimate Australian Open Finals experience? You can grab your ticket now in the ATS lottery for your chance to win flights, accommodation,
Great precinct, Rod Laver
dining opportunities, and
immortalised out the front.
for either the men's or the women's finals. All proceeds from the Australian Tennis Foundation's lottery go towards helping their work with disadvantaged children right across Australia. Go to
Welcome back to A Night with Novak. Such a special occasion here at Rod Laver Arena with his opponent Alexander Zverev courtside. Sasha, we spoke before the match about your bicep from the United Cup. How's it holding up tonight?
It's good. It's still attached. I feel like it's stronger than ever. No, I'm kidding. No, it's good. Obviously, had a little bit of an issue at the United Cup a few weeks ago, but I'm feeling fine. I'm serving okay so far. I think. Novak, no? Would you agree? So
That's a no comment. He's looking fighting fit. A quick one. You're a type 1 diabetic and an inspiration to so many type 1 diabetics out there, including my young daughter Matilda, who's 6 and was diagnosed at 2. I know you've got your whole kit here. How often are you checking your blood glucose levels to make sure you're in the range you need to be?
every changeover. I have a beautiful app on my phone that is connected to a device that is attached to my right glute muscle. And yeah, I check it every changeover and try to be in the range like any other normal person. But yeah, I've been a type 1 diabetic since I'm 4 years old, so I don't really remember a life without it, and it's just normality for me.
Well, I love seeing what you do for the inspiration of all those type 1 diabetics out there. It doesn't stop anyone. Most importantly, you go kick some butt. Alexander Zverev, ladies and gentlemen, as he leads 3-2 against the 10-time champ.
Time.
It's not something that is raised all the time because we're so used to it with Zverev, but sometimes it was on the arm, and now, oh, there's a quick serve. It's taken us by surprise. Novak was onto it though.
Love 15. Love 30.
What does Zverev need to do to climb the mountain?
Well, keep serving like he is. 13 from 13 first serves.
At an average of 206 and a fastest of 215. It's serious.
Now look,
40.
Alexander Zverev has put himself in a position multiple times to win a Grand Slam, so think the belief is there with a lot of people that he can go 1 or 2 matches further. Having said that, under pressure, at times his game has let him down. Now, I think he's tidied up his serve a fair bit. It was not the first serve delivery, but that second serve. He went through a stage
15,
where
40.
he was struggling to land the first serve, or the second serve, with regular consistency. His backhand is world class, but from the back of the court, if there is one shot that can be targeted, it's that forehand wing. But look, I am
13,
nitpicking
40.
here because he is a great player. He's the type of guy that if he wins one Grand Slam, I think it might have a domino effect and he might win 3, 4 or 5. It's just getting that breakthrough initially. And I really like Alexander Zverev when he approaches matches with an aggressive mentality. He's got such a big, imposing frame, a massive first serve. I think he plays his best tennis when he's taking on the game. For him to break through at a Grand Slam level in a final, I think it's going to be that time where he really takes it on. Gets the game on his racket and charges through the finish line.
Digs himself out of a hole there, saves a break point.
Zverev leads 4 games to 2.
And did so with an incredible backhand down the line winner. It really is a world-class shot. Caused many a player some grief, including the great Rafael Nadal.
Brilliant. You talk about Zverev and being aggressive, and of course he was 2 sets to love up against Dominic Thiem when he lost his US Open. He had Daniil Medvedev 2 sets to love here at the Australian Open last year. Alcaraz under pressure too at the French Open final. But just went back into the shallow fraction rather than pressing forward, and like Novak has done, you
30 love.
keep the foot on the neck if your prey is under duress.
Love.
Comfortable service hold for Djokovic. Still down that break from the opening service game. Zverev 4-3.
Zverev leads 4 games to 3.
Pretty relaxed is Zverev. New ball's coming, so new racket on its way. Good opportunity to practice all of that. The preparation beforehand, 7 o'clock match time. What do you do during the day? All of those things that we've seen during the opening week encounters.
Great night here at Rod Laver Arena. Crowd loving what they're seeing here tonight. Alexander Zverev, Novak Djokovic going head-to-head. Novak, we've seen you travelling for almost 20 years now on the circuit. What does it mean, though, to have the family with you courtside on an occasion like this, the first slam of the year?
It means the world to me. It's their first time in Australia, so it's great to have them there. Obviously, my heart is full, you know, when I have my family with me. It's a long way to get to Australia from where we live, so it's a long trip, and I appreciate my wife willing to make this trip with my kids and, you know, giving me support that is always necessary, you know. Also, hopefully we can have another couple of weeks here in Melbourne. You know, they can enjoy some tennis, some sightseeing, and yeah, you know, they seem to be enjoying it tonight. It's probably past their bedtime, but they're still hanging on.
Yeah, Tara looks like she's made herself right at home. As we head back to the baseline, Novak, I've got to ask you the strategy on the plane, not here tonight, the kids. Angry birds, how do you keep them entertained?
Make them sleep in whatever way possible.
I'll take any tips I can get. Novak and co here tonight, folks.
Already seen them out enjoying the local scenery. Loves the Botanic Gardens, Novak. He goes and hugs a tree. A little bit of meditation. When you've won 10 titles, Sean, at the Australian Open, you've pretty much seen every Melbourne landmark, because the famous day after photo shoot, whether it's at the Brighton Beach Boxes or exhibition buildings down by the Yarra, Botanic Gardens, he's seen all of them. Nothing wrong with the bicep.
30 love.
That was striking a pose.
It's not enough that you're firing these serves of 250K. Now you have to make forehands winners. And yet still on here. That's the man with 24 slams. And a gold medal.
Of course, the Golden Slam, having all of the major titles. Only Agassi and Nadal have done it, along with Novak. Oh, there's another one.
Well, we asked for an aggressive mentality from Alexander Zverev, and someone might have got the message to him. He has unleashed on his last two forehands. This one going only just a little bit long.
I think Dad might be just saying, settle down, big tournament.
Well, especially when you're recovering from a bicep injury.
I'm sure through your career, John, you notice the increased power of the game and how hard and flat the ball comes back at you. And there was a good example of it there, just how much power is involved in the modern game. Seems to get faster and faster every year. Combination of the rackets, strings, conditions. Djokovic gets the break back, squares it up at 4 apiece. Crowd will like that. Just the one set plus the 7-point tiebreaker if required.
Love 15.
I personally would say that's Andy's fault.
A real work in progress has been Novak Djokovic's serve over his career. Thought he made some great improvements with Goran Ivanisevic in that partnership, no doubt. Goran had him
That was outrageous at both ends. That was clever, and then Novak at full pace. This is dangerous. Timing exquisite. Not quite over the net.
Let's first serve.
Finds the corner. Just going back to the Djokovic serve, remember he had that elbow issue as well and had to change his technique a little bit just with the way he would release the racket and protect the elbow. Took him a little while to get used to that.
And this is another trademark Djokovic shot, the open stance sliding backhand. Does it nearly better than anybody else. So strong off that outside leg. Yeah, Goran got him serving with a lot more rhythm, a lot more consistency with his ball toss. And in doing so, he became a better server under pressure. Especially this slider tee on this side.
Got a little time there, but he holds serve and now he's in front, 5-4.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 4.
So he's pleased with that. Looks up and sees that he's in front on the count for the first time, having dropped his opening service game. Zverev's opening round encounter against the Frenchman, Capuy. Wild card entrant as well. So a little change of complexion here because Alex Zverev's been in front since the opening service game where he broke Djokovic's serve. He's had the front running. He gave up a break of serve in the 8th game. Bjorn Borg on the decks here. It's impressive. But now he's got a serve to stay in it. So a little bit of pressure. Got him. It's gone.
Yeah, Zverev's first round match against Luca Pouille. Luca Pouille was a semi-finalist here back in 2016. He's had its torrid luck with injuries, but he's making his way back down the rankings now. Has a wild card in here due to the exchange program. So Australia will trade one with the French for Roland Garros.
40 love.
It would be good to see Luca back in action. Of course, that's a little dangerous section there because Nick Kyrgios is floating in amongst there.
Let's first serve.
No trouble with the hold of serve. 5-all.
5 games all.
Full house at Rod Laver Arena for the night with Novak. Raising funds for the Australian Tennis Foundation.
Love 15.
Second double fault for Novak, paired with a couple of aces.
$40-15.
That was far too swift.
40-30.
Yeah, most people you approach to someone's backhand, just like Novak did just then. Against Alexander Zverev, you have a little more success if you actually approach to the forehand side. Have to tread very carefully when coming in at his backhand.
A couple of times Zverev's got a little stuck on the court. Little slide there. Djokovic holds lead 6-5.
Djokovic leads 6 games to 5.
We saw a little earlier he got stuck, and on that occasion he just lost his footing a fraction. Did Zverev. So this one here goes to just change direction. Yeah, there it is there. That's a little disconcerting.
It just loses his footing here. Sol slides out from underneath him. Almost set up by the narrow base there. Not that solid foundation as you see in this foot backhand.
After dropping his opening service game, Novak Djokovic has fought his way back into this here, leading 6-5 on serve. Zverev now to send this to a tiebreak. Looking forward to the sit-down chat with both players and James Bracey at the end of the match.
$15.
And I've been keeping an eye on Alexander Zverev's service speed after that concerning bicep injury that he sustained at the United Cup. And the fans of Zverev will be quite delighted. His average first serve speeds at 203 kilometers an hour. He's been using his slider quite a fair bit, so that's brought that down to what we'd usually expect, but encouraging. His fastest serve, 215 kilometers an hour. Hasn't seemed to lose any speed with that bicep problem.
$40.
Well, it's always an endurance test early in the season. Opening Grand Slam in difficult conditions. We've seen Novak over the years battle it through all manner of ailments.
Game Zverev.
Another comfortable service game. So we're off to a tiebreak here.
6 games all.
Standard 7-pointer
tiebreak.
to determine the bragging rights. Djokovic will open proceedings with his single serve.
Who's your money on?
Zverev. Good start.
1-0 Zverev.
Surely.
With no confidence.
Yeah, surely.
With no confidence.
Surely he can't spoil the
night with Novak?
The night with Novak party.
Zverev's the sort of guy that wouldn't mind spoiling the party, I think. You're playing to win, aren't you, at this point? Entertainment's finished. Now it's about winning. I'm chuffed that you actually valued my... Well, maybe you didn't value my opinion, but you asked the question anyway, John. Who do you think?
No, I'm going with the king of the court, Novak Djokovic.
Zverev. Zverev. Zverev.
And so this is the reason, John, the Zverev serve, if he can maintain what he's been doing so far, 83% of first serves in, over 200 kilometres an hour on average, fastest at 215. Bang down a few 215s here. And he is well and truly in command. Well, as we know here, the drop shot is fraught on these courts in these conditions, and that one wasn't from the top shelf from Novak, and he knows that. It was worth the attempt, but potentially. Not sure it would have happened at 2-3 down in actual tournament play.
And so much of the success of the drop shot is what you do on the shot immediately before. Have you got your opponent out of position enough? Because if you have the drop shot, doesn't have to be quite as good. Don't have to flirt with the net as he tried to do then.
Zverev.
2 points against the serve each, so we're back on even keel. Your man, Johnny.
5-4, Djokovic.
In front.
And coming out of this practice set, this has been one of his more encouraging shots that I've seen. That backhand down the line. We all know he loves to change direction off both sides, but he's been pinpoint accurate with that one tonight.
Didn't quite get over.
6-4, Djokovic.
Set points. He does need the big serve here.
Djokovic.
Couple of serves here for Novak on his night. Now, I've seen some exceptional tennis the last couple of points. The big heavy hitting. Zverev's depth forcing Djokovic back.
6-all.
And then the counter attack from Novak.
He knew it, didn't he? Straight off the racket. He knew that one was sailing wide. An exasperated look on the face. Jubilation for the German.
Good serve.
7-6, Djokovic.
Brings up his third match point. It's gone wide and it's Novak's night, and that's fitting.
7 games to 6.
Entertaining tennis. It went all the way and a little bit more. 8-6 in the tiebreaker for the 10-time champion, Novak Djokovic. That was a good hit out for both of them, John. We'll see Novak back. He's got a doubles encounter with Zheng Qinwen, the two Paris Olympic singles gold medalists, mixed doubles against Andy Murray and Victoria Azarenka, and then he'll be back for some wheelchair tennis action as well. James Bracey will do a sit-down interview